I have selected some submitted stories for us to read out on the worst hookup and date experiences, so let's get into it. And again, for privacy purposes, we won't read out the names of the people or the accounts who sent in their stories, but there will be nicknames. Plus, try and guess which one of these stories are mine. I'll reveal at the end of the episode. Chris, please begin.
All right, the first story. Blonde Bombshell wrote in, love the name. In 2019, after 5 years of being single and having not one bone in my body to date anyone, I decided to give Tinder another go. I matched with a surfer from Coogee Beach. He asked me to meet him at Coogee Pavilion. His flirting through text and phone was A grade, and I was excited to meet him for what I thought would be a cute first date. I told him by phone I was very attracted to him, but didn't want to have sex until after a few days. Sorry, I'll try that again. I told him by phone I was very attracted to him, but didn't want to have sex until after a few days, as I was not only a shy girl, but I also hadn't fucked anyone for 5 years. Unfortunately, when I arrived, he smacked me on the ass, told me my tits are ace, kneeled down in front of a crowd of oblivious day drinkers, and proceeded to smell my crotch and tell me he liked the scent. That just threw me off. I should have I should have left, but he proceeded to stick his tongue so far down my throat, I couldn't do anything but remain frozen in shock. When he finally stopped, I burst into tears and excused myself to use the bathroom. I called my sister, who lived nearby, to come pick me up, but I was too scared to leave the bathroom. Thankfully, this beautiful older lady comforted me, saying she saw what happened and offered to remain with me until my sister arrived. I'm now happily married to a guy I matched with from Tinder, but the experience still scars me, and I know my experience pales in comparison to the assaults women go through on these apps, but I wanted to share. Yeah, Blonde Bombshell, thank you so much for writing that story in. My God. So number one takeaway from this is men are pigs.
Mm-hmm.
Not and yes, before anyone says, I know not all men are like this. Okay, I see you. I can see you starting now. But there are some, like we were just talking about boundaries, major, 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 just throwing away at boundaries there. Like on arrival, smacking the ass, tits at ace, just smelling crotch. Like, what? What?
Uh,
What goes through people's mind when they do this kind of thing? Like,
when
seriously.
when I got this story, I was reading through it and I was like, I was already weirded out by the fact that the guy smacked her on the ass. I was like, that's something you would only do if you're like in a relationship with someone or if it's
Mm,
like, a good friend, but it's like a little inside joke or like that's their type of love language,
mm,
not someone you meet on the first date for or
mm.
meet a stranger on the first date for. But then
It just
I
gets worse and worse and worse, Like, I've had people smack me in the ass when I'm like out clubbing or something. I'm like, okay, that's boundary pushing, but you're just drunk and you're going away. Okay, fine, whatever, as long as I don't see you again. But then to continue going, my tits, telling her that her tits are ace.
I've never
And
heard anyone use the word ace
like,
in that
I was just
aspect.
like, oh, like, God damn it. Is that what people say? Like, how long ago? Oh, hang on. It says
I think it was 5 years ago.
2019. 2019. That was 4 years ago. Sorry, freaking math
Yeah.
nerd over here. So I'm just like four. But really, people say my tits are ace. Your
Uh,
cock is ace. Like, oh, gross. I hope if anyone says that to me, done, done. I'm done with you. Don't ever talk to me again.
I'd be like, I may have driven here, but I'm walking home because
Yeah,
I need to just
it
like,
was that bad. You have traumatized me to the point where I don't think I can ever do anything ever again.
uh,
Ace.
it's just like, I guess on the positive side of this story, she did end up marrying a great guy that she
Yes,
also matched from Tinder. But
absolutely.
I've noticed this thing when it comes to, uh, I don't want to say the word victim,
Mm,
but people who experience sexual assault, no matter what type of intensity, like
mm,
if it's just like ass grabbing or if it's full on sexual assault and rape, they always seem to think that it's like, oh, but other people go through so much worse. And it's like,
mm.
but it still happened to you. So
Exactly.
you should
Yeah,
allow yourself to feel, you know,
I
um,
definitely agree. and I'm very, very happy that you're happily married to a guy, and it's from Tinder, so it does prove that positive experiences, even everlasting experiences, can come from Tinder.
Mm.
But imagine. I'm not saying to you, blonde bombshell, who to imagine, because you obviously go through it, but to everyone else, like, imagine that experience still scars them.
Mm.
So what? So when they've been together and they're still together, is there still like a thing of like, don't touch me on the ass, or are there a still thing of
Mm.
like don't make out with me too aggressively or anything? So that can still impact you despite the fact you're in a happy position.
Yeah.
So think about that whenever people's boundaries, or you're not respecting boundaries, or anyone is, may seem harmless at the time, but you actually might be affecting someone more deeply than you realize. And that's why we ask, are you okay with this? We
Yeah.
ask, do we need to stop? Am I making you uncomfortable? I'm making you uncomfortable. Is everything 100% okay? It's just courteousness.
Yeah.
And this was obviously the opposite of courteous. Tits ace. God.
I.
Um, I'm, I'm not trying to make too much light of it because that was absolutely horrible, but I'm glad you're in a better place. Um, but never. The only way you ever use ace appropriately is if it's a card, or you say you're asexual or aromantic.
Yeah.
Don't ever say like my dick is ace. I'm gonna go tits are ace. Ugh, fucking
Uh,
ill.
maybe I should do a test later tomorrow night. I'll go up to the guy I'm dating and be like, "You look ace today." He'll probably be like, "What? What did you say?"
Everyone starts moving away from you in a semicircle.
It's like so nah, like the
Mhm.
everyone just disappears. But
Yeah.
I do have to say, so I've gone to Coogee quite a few times, including Coogee Pavilion, which is like this, I guess, rich bitch area. But
Yeah.
everyone pretends they're rich, but they're just as broke as I am. And it's like,
Uh-huh.
who are you fooling? Like, what are
Yeah.
you doing?
Yeah.
But I've encountered many people like this who they will I don't even think it's like alcohol. I think it's just like the lifestyle related area of that specific beach. But I've seen guys go up to girls and be like, "Hey, good looking. I think it'd look better if you were drinking with me." And they're
Oh,
so serious. And I'm like, do
fuck.
you really think that shitty pickup line is gonna work? I mean, I
It's
don't know any
so
good
gross.
pickup lines, but you
Yeah, but
know,
that's not a good pickup line. That's just gross.
like it's
Like there's
just
pickup lines and then there's just gross dumping on people. Like that's
yeah.
shit. Like you would look better if you're drinking next to me. So wait, she only looks good because you've been drinking, but yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's like it's
Sorry.
just I I'm trying not to
like
make
I said, cut out whatever you want out of this shit show, which I'm making.
uh I just want to say, blonde bombshell, I'm very happy that you were able to find love with someone from Tinder, someone who treats you well.
Yes,
And hopefully this story may give hope to other people who might have experienced something similar to, not give up the search for love. But you know,
absolutely. You've proven that it is possible. Sometimes we just have to get through shit together, which is really, really crap shit. So I'm so glad that you are now very happily married to a guy. So
me
yes,
too.
congrats.
Yeah. Now, our next story is a bit wild. This is probably one of the top 10 wildest stories that I received. So
Mm-hmm.
I will read it out. So, Verse King wrote in, "Hey, bro, please refer to me as Verse King, as that's my grinder name, and I could use the promo, lol. But here's what happened during my first attempt at a threesome last year. I was browsing Grinder at 5 a.m., as you do, and this couple messaged me asking if I would like to come over. I didn't respond to them for a half hour as I was anxious about a threesome, but then they sent pictures and I immediately put on my Adidas and got into my car to drive to their hotel. After a few minutes at the hotel, this couple proceeded to pull out a penis pump. You know that thing from Austin Powers? And he's like, I swear to God, it's not mine.
Yeah, I've seen like small clips of Austin Powers. I haven't actually watched the whole thing. I
I
know,
can't
I
say
know,
this podcast. No.
I know, I know, I know, I know. It's on my list, on my very long list of things I haven't seen. I know,
Well, we're gonna add
but I
penis pump
understand
to
what you're
that
talking
list.
about. because I've heard that reference through other people. So yes, I've heard of a penis pump. Shut up.
So, Burst King said this couple pulled out the pump, telling him that he was too small to top them. And Burst King writes in first person, I was fucking hurt and confused as I hadn't had any complaints from other guys I've topped before. But this couple insisted I at least try it, and yeah, it added a few inches, but I was still feeling shit from what they said about my size. My dick felt strangely cold, and I hated the sensation. The sex was really dull as I couldn't feel anything from using the pump. The couple, without warning, then popped a pill in my mouth, and I freaked out as I swallowed it without thinking. They told me it was just Viagra, and it pissed me off because I love having amyl nitrate while bottoming. And now I wouldn't be able to have amyl because I could die if I sniff amyl while having Viagra in my system. I
Mm.
pretended I was sick from the pill and got my clothes on and left. I haven't done a threesome since, and look, bro, I probably never will. So this is a very important point, which
Mm.
I don't think most gay men actually know because I've used amyl before in the past. I actually fucking love amyl, but it's not
Mm.
something I can use regularly because I find that like it just like fucks up my sinuses. I have like
Mm.
heart palpitations, that kind of stuff. But there's a very serious thing where if you use a pill like Viagra or like the Optimal Health, like Pilot, all those kind of what do you call it, like erectile dysfunction pills and whatnot. If you have Viagra, you could die because it fucks
Mm.
up your heart flow. Like
Right.
your heartbeat might slow down to like 2 beats per minute.
Oh
That's
shit.
probably an exaggeration, but it's quite lethal.
Mm.
And most people wouldn't know that. I actually didn't know that until I think it was mid last year when I went to one of those like saunas in Sydney, and there's
Mm.
signs everywhere.
Mm.
And I was like, oh, I don't remember seeing those signs when I used to go to saunas, but I was like, 22, 23. And I was like, I had no idea. That's
Mm.
interesting.
Mm.
But, at the same time, this couple that just randomly puts a pill into someone's mouth, what the fuck is wrong with them? Like, I
Immediate no. Immediate no.
like, I feel like I've been pressured to take drugs, do drugs, drink alcohol, smoke weed, whatever.
Mm.
And I've always felt very confident in saying no to
Yeah.
things I do not want to try. Or, you know, little confession, I am so fucking shit when it
Mm.
comes to sex if I've drunk alcohol or if I'm high or if I'm on something because my mind can't concentrate. So
Mm.
I'm just like, I know I'm going to be terrible in bed. I do not want that because I like to think I'm good. So
Yeah.
the idea of me being really shit would be like a huge blow to my
Soul
ego.
crushing. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, just, I feel, Verse King, I just want to say I feel so bad for you. And I'm glad you got out of that situation. I
Yeah.
as I mentioned before with Shed Story in episode 1, I would
Mm.
like to think that I'd be like, no, I'm going home. But as I explained before, I stayed. So it's
Yeah.
like, well, I think I would freak out in that situation and be like, oh, I'm staying. I'm having fun. In
Yeah.
reality, I'm
I think when
freaking out.
I think when you freak out, like it really starts to like mess with your perception of things. Like logically, you should be saying no, but you can't,
Yeah.
or there's something stopping you from doing that. So I don't, and that's purely on uh, when you're feeling victimized. That's not
Yeah.
the other way around. That doesn't work both ways. When you're doing something guilty, don't keep doing it. Like I mean, like the non-consensual guilty stuff, but like, in terms of like, yeah, I'm just having a little read of the story. Yeah, you freaked out as I swallowed it without even thinking, because it just caught you off so much. So,
Yeah.
and I think that's what they relied on. They relied on the element of surprise to get you in that position. Um, yeah, that's such a red flag and just such a big no from me. So, yeah, I'm so glad you got out of that situation. You know, I completely understand and respect your decision to say as I was involved, but like I understand your decision not to have a threesome since because these kind of things require trust.
Yeah.
And if you manage to find two other partners who are or two other participating participants who want to do that with you, and it's all consensual and stuff, then great. But that's not always easy to do because one could be super understanding and one could not be secretly, and that's really scary. So I can understand your hesitation with that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that's basically all I have to say on it. I'm just so gobsmacked, but I'm like, oh my god, people think that's okay. Just pop a pill in there. It's fine.
Yeah.
Just flabbergasted.
A little bit of a side story, but speaking of threesomes, so I've had probably 3 or 4 in my lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
And I know some people involved in those threesomes might be watching this, but I am such a one-on-one person that when I've attempted to do threesomes, I could never fully commit to the experience. I did enjoy them, but I felt I would have had much more fun if it was just one-on-one. But that's who I am as a person.
Yeah.
But likewise, plot twist. So even though my sexuality is like a fucking enigma code at this stage, like I describe myself as like 99% gay, 1% straight.
Yeah.
So not fully bisexual, but like gay with like a little bit of attraction to women here and there.
Is the 1% Lana Del Rey or
Lana Del Rey, Teddy Sinclair?
Oh yeah.
I was about to say someone else. I was like, oh shit, no, I can't mention that name. And then, like at the same time, my best ever threesome experience was with 2 lesbian women.
Oh.
So, yeah, like I won't get into the specifics of it, but it was just a lot of talking, a lot of laughing, a lot of mutual.
That seems fun.
It really was. I
Wow.
was so surprised because it kind of just happened, and this was like 8 years ago at this point. But it was a one-time thing. We actually all met at Stonewall, and
as you do.
And then like it was just so much fun. And then in the morning, I was like, "Shit, am I a lesbian now?" I have to change my name to Ellen DeGeneres.
I mean, what year was this again?
2015, I think.
Oh, that was definitely lesbian Justin era.
Oh yeah, I had like the lesbian hair, crime and violence jacket. No.
Yeah, your good crime and violence jacket from like the Mary Jane Holland demo that no one listened to. Well, a few people did.
Listen to that demo.
I actually I can't find the crime and violence one, but I have listened to the demo. I actually prefer the demo over the album version. Sorry, Gaga fan stan rant. Yeah. Do you think we're getting something? Do you think we're getting something for Art Pop Act 2? I doubt it. But I really want something for 10th anniversary. Go away, emails.
Because I think if she's going to do something, it'll be another remix album like she did for the 10-year anniversary of Born the Wrong Way. But then at the same time, it's like, no, I would love to hear Art Pop Act 2. Like, give us, I mean, there's already been the leaked versions of like Red Flame, her collab with Azealia Banks. Likewise, DJ White Shadow keeps talking about like, oh, we recorded T and Onion Girl and Temple and all these other songs, but he can't release anything because
it's like it's under like, well, it's under her wish, but also like the record label, like they had to be okay with this. It's just like, I don't know. I didn't mind the 10th anniversary. I like the Kylie Marry the Night cover. I thought that was all right.
I actually fucking hate that song.
Really? Really? Oh my god, no.
I don't know what it is, but
I mean, it's not my favorite. I just loved the video so much, but yeah.
Oh, I didn't know there was a video for Kylie.
No, not Kylie. I mean, like Marry the Night just itself.
Oh, yeah, I love that video. It's like easily one of her top 3.
Yes, so good. So anyway, let's move on to the next story. We keep delaying. Okay. Okay, so on to the third story. I think it's third story. Yeah, third story. Bartender Love wrote in, "Hey, I made a dumb decision of meeting up with someone from Facebook. He had posted in a local buy, swap, sell group asking who the cute bartender was." Hang on. I keep stuffing up. I'm so sorry. Okay, I'll go again. He had posted in a local buy, swap, sell group asking who the cute bartender with luscious brunette hair was at the local RSL, and they wanted to ask me on a date. I knew he was talking about me, and I gave this guy a chance as I remembered him being very nice and respectful, so I reached out to him and he offered to pick me up and take me to a restaurant. A few nights later, A few nights later, I got all dressed up and he was knocked. Oh my God, he was knocked. I can't read today. What's wrong with me? Again, a piece of my brain came off yesterday. A few nights later, I got all dressed up, and when he knocked on my door, he was dressed very dapper, but then he asked me something I will never forget. Not even a hello or a compliment or anything. He said, "Would you mind putting this on instead, sweetheart?" Okay. It was a costume of Xena, the warrior princess, and I laughed, thinking it had to be some sort of a joke. He was confused and asked me again to put it on. I told him nervously that I was not putting that on and that I was expecting him to take me out for a night on the town instead. He told me point blank, surely and only. I'm getting triggered as I'm reading this. He told me point blank, surely an OnlyFans bitch like you is used to dressing up for money. You really think I want to date some slut like you? I slapped him and very quickly shut the door on his face. He banged on the door for 15 minutes straight. I had to get the police involved and I was granted a temporary ABO. It hurts me to think some men like him automatically refuse to date me because of my career on OnlyFans. It was the only way I could make some money when every pub and club shut down as a safety measure during the pandemic. It's a side hustle for me as I'm saving for my first home, so it just feels shit knowing this guy only wanted me for his geek fantasy. Nothing against geeks, I love them, but he shouldn't have had such an angry reaction to me saying no. Emphasis on the no, by the way, because saying no is important. Fuck. I'm so mad. That's the thing. I get so mad at these things, and it's like, should I be as mad because I'm not a girl and I haven't actually felt this? But like, I'm so mad for you, bartender love. Like that is really like, and you know what? I'm really tired of seeing like OnlyFans people being like shamed and like slut shamed because like didn't that literally just happen on Married at First Sight? I'm not sure about this new season. I haven't seen it, but like I saw like a little bit of last year's season, and there was like, oh my gosh, she's at OnlyFans. Oh my god, what a slut and all that. I hate that. I hate that OnlyFans is slut shaming and stuff. Okay, sex work is real work. First of all, let's establish that. Because you're providing a service, people are paying for that service. And there you go. That is what work is called. Money in exchange for goods and services. That's a service. There you go. But at the same time, it's like, I don't know, someone like, let's just use the obvious one, actors, right? If someone's playing like a big Marvel superhero or a big Star Wars character, that person's not automatically, oh my God, he's that character. That is also a person underneath that has boundaries and just requires common decency and respect. This girl, Bartender Love, is not just an OnlyFans bitch. She is a person who happens to be on OnlyFans. Okay, so an OnlyFans person is not going to be always in service of you. That is still a person that requires their own decency and respect. This is fucking disgusting. This is gross. Like I'm so sorry you had to deal with that. It's, and I know I just said I hate it. It is what it is, but unfortunately, there is still that perception of slut shaming on OnlyFans, or you're only good when you're fulfilling your OnlyFans needs or whatever. Like I know people who have been on OnlyFans or who do OnlyFans, and they're still people. I've sort of joked that like OnlyFans is becoming less of a joke for me to do because it's like I've got to afford things, and in this economy, I might have to. But whether that happens or not, probably not. It's still work. It's still work. So thank you for your story. I hope you haven't had an experience like this ever again. Because that's just that's so gross. And that's the thing with geeks, there's always that stupid stereotype of like, oh my God, these people are still living in their mum's basement and stuff. That's not always the case, but a lot of them don't actually have the social skills or have the ability to recognize when they're being gross and really misogynistic. Like
Oh yeah.
misogyny is such a big thing, like in the nerd geek gaming, Dungeons and Dragons, just any geek fandom, so full of like misogyny. And
Oh yeah.
it really, really sucks because women are people too, and they can enjoy the games and enjoy all that nerd culture while also being respected as a human being.
Yeah.
So, uh, just ugh, I don't really have anything else. It was more of a rant than a reaction. I'm in a ranty mood today.
Oh, don't worry, me too. Like the first thing that I noticed when I got this submission was
Mm,
that this geeky guy was completely fine treating this girl like a complete object, being like,
mhm,
put on this costume, fulfill
mm,
my fantasy. As
mm,
soon as she said no, that's when
uh-huh,
he launched into this scathing tirade about women are
hmm
sluts and OnlyFans bad, rah rah rah. But he was
yeah,
perfectly fine exploiting that for his
hmm
own personal gain.
yeah.
And
Now that I'm
as
not getting what I want from you, now you're terrible. Now I hate you. Because
yes.
yes,
Ah,
and the mirrors over there. Do you want to go look and prove your point there, sweetie? Just
ah,
take a cold stare at it. Just really look in there and go, am I the problem? No, it's not me. Fuck you,
ah.
Taylor Swift. I'm not the problem. It's not me.
It's like, talking about OnlyFans. So a couple of months ago, I was seriously considering launching one, and
Mm,
it was less. I mean, yeah, money was also a reason why I'm like, oh, I could do that. But
mm,
then I guess I backed out at the last minute because I had like taken photos. I don't know if I would ever do videos, even though I'm a
mm,
video creator, blah blah blah. But videos for me are a bit more personal, whereas
mm.
like images, it's just like, okay, it's one still photo, that's fine.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I took a lot of great photos because, after the weight loss and everything, I'm like, damn, I look really good. I know how
Mm,
to do specific angles, I know what clothes to wear.
mm,
And then when it came down to it, I guess I was just like, no, who's going to subscribe to me? I don't see
yeah.
a point in it. I'd
Yeah.
probably get like 2 subscribers, which, you got to start somewhere. But,
Exactly.
I have actually a few friends who, um, one of them in particular, so she was working as a stripper. I don't know if that's the right term to use anymore, but I'll just say stripper.
Mm,
She was working as a stripper in the Gold Coast and she was getting decent money. As soon as she made the move to OnlyFans, she's made so much money, like
wow.
so much more than anyone that I know. But she's not that type of OnlyFans creator that's like top 0.04%, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. Like, I feel like she should do, like, if she wants to do like a fallback career at any point, even though she's making a shit ton of money, she should do like a masterclass in how to promote OnlyFans because I
Mm,
follow her on Instagram. We've known each other since high school, but even though I'm gay, I'm just like, damn, her OnlyFans looks really exciting. Like
mm,
different photos, like she talks about the like her own personal experiences, and
mm,
it's more of a, I guess, like a case study into this girl who is like not only ridiculously attractive, but
mm,
like talks about like her day to day life, talks about
mm.
like that has like interactive discussions,
Yeah.
and
Wow.
it's just so interesting. I'm just like, damn, she really knows how to work that platform a
Mm.
lot better than other people I've seen who like okay, I won't put this in the recording, but there's a specific person from Aussie Monsters who started
Oh.
selling farts in a jar.
Okay.
And
No,
I
no, sorry, I'm not going to laugh or king shame, but just
no,
look,
when I heard
farts are
about it, I
look,
was
farts are
like,
funny. I don't care how old you are, farts are still funny. I'm going to be a 70-year-old man one day and be like, fart.
oh, when I first heard about it, I was like, that can't be real. And then I actually looked on their OnlyFans and it was a free version account. And I was like, oh, they actually do sell farts in a jar for $100.
How would
Damn,
you? Can you actually physically fart into something and then like trap the smell in there? I guess you could.
no idea.
Why am I even thinking about this anyway? Uh, maybe I'm getting inspiration.
But
I can't show my body, so I'll just toot in a jar.
like going back to OnlyFans, so Bartender Love mentioned that when the pandemic happened and everything got shut down, so as a
Mm.
bartender, she wasn't able to work for a
Mm.
good 6 months to a year, or hell,
Yeah.
even 2 years, because some places have never opened back up.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, not saying like, that's the only reason she had to do OnlyFans, because, you know, but a lot of people don't understand that, for a lot of workers in particular,
Mm.
OnlyFans was like a huge lifeline to them. Like they were
Yeah.
able to keep making money during the pandemic. They were also
Hmm.
able to have fun and express their creativity. And it just weirds me out that some people look down on them and they're like, oh, you're trying to be a porn star. That's bad. And it's like, babe, we all watch porn. We
Yeah.
all like jerk
Well,
off and everything. So
I don't, but I understand it. Like, I understand why people do. But yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But
So
yeah, no,
didn't
I'm
mean to
no, no, no,
eliminate
no,
the
no, no, no.
asexuals.
I get it. I get it. But yeah, no, just I totally understand. I mean, I understand being out of work, like 2020, everything shut down. Yeah, both of my jobs were gone. I
Mm,
couldn't work. So
same.
thankfully I had government funding, JobKeeper if you were in did you have JobKeeper in Sydney?
I
Or was that
had JobKeeper,
yeah.
but I lost access to JobKeeper because thankfully I got rehired around July 2020.
Oh yeah.
But even then, I was like, a lot of my friends, hell, my entire family, we were all so thankful for JobKeeper.
Yeah.
And this sounds like a political party ad to like vote one Labour Party, but no, without JobKeeper, we would have all been like, what the fuck do we do?
Yeah,
You
it
know?
was one of the few things that the government actually did right. Well, even yeah, there's some step. Yeah. Anyway, getting away from that. So yeah, that was a lifeline for me. But yeah, but also mentally wise, I'm someone that needs to do stuff. So the fact that I could not go to work was awful. So I can imagine not only was this like, oh, okay, I can do this for the money, but you're also like, you're missing your job as well.
Yeah.
This OnlyFans thing for you clearly wasn't just like a thing that you wanted to pursue your whole life. This is just a means to an end. And then someone's going to bloody slut shame you.
Mm.
That's disgusting. That's gross. No more.
Yeah.
Naughty.
And I find slut shaming is not just like specific towards like the straight male community
Hmm.
that's doing this. It's
Oh,
everyone.
happens everywhere.
Like, and part of me also thinks that it's a lot of jealousy in a sense. Like, I get jealous all the time when I see people making money off OnlyFans because I'm like, damn, I wish I had that confidence
Yeah.
to. Because like, there's a lot of different body types on OnlyFans. Like,
Hmm.
you got like your typical skinny models. There's also like the bears. There's also,
Yeah.
what's a specific term? BBW, big black women,
Oh, okay.
or
I wasn't aware of that
beautiful
term,
black
but there we
women,
go.
or something.
Yeah.
But like, there's niches for
Perhaps.
everyone.
Yeah,
So
there definitely is. I mean, I personally wouldn't show my face. Like I wear like a gimp mask or something, just because I'm worried about my face being put out there and then used as blackmail towards me, or because
yeah.
like I imagine that would be a massive insecurity with it,
Hmm.
you know. So, anywho, should move
I'd
on to the
wear
next
the
one.
I'd wear the jigsaw mask from the Saw movies.
Yeah, but people would know it was you because you got a freaking horror podcast. Be like, oh, it's just Justin.
I'm like, damn, my secret's out, but no.
Yeah.
Now, I really, really wish I could reveal the name of the person who sent in this story because I know this is going to cause a huge amount of drama in my hometown. And I've known this person since primary school. And online, they appear very innocent. So I was very shocked by this submission. So, anyway, High School Musical wrote in.
It's okay. You
Hey,
can say my name. I'm kidding. It was me. No.
so Chris wrote it. No. Hey bitch, never told you this story before, so please don't hate me. But remember the science labs around the corner of the Nambucca High School? Well, there was a chess competition taking place, and there were students that came from some other Cops Harbour school to compete. I don't remember the name of the guy, and it's been 13 years since I saw him, but at the time I wanted to rock his world. I introduced myself, and he called me beautiful and asked to kiss me. I let him, and to be a little cheeky, I put my hand down his pants. He asked if I wanted to go to his house on the weekend to watch movies and cuddle, but I wanted him badly, and I wanted him now. Long story short, we fucked in Lab 3. We didn't get caught, and I don't think anybody knows. You're the first person I've told besides my husband. He asked me to do so many things like give him head, but I wasn't comfortable and he respected that. I never felt pressured by him, and it really turned me on. Unfortunately, he started dating another girl a few weeks later, so I was left heartbroken for a while. But I'll always be proud I lost my virginity in the science lab of the high school. So,
So I have no thoughts to this. I'm just going to watch Justin's reaction to it. In fact, I'm going to switch to the Zoom call. Okay, so I'm just watching Justin's reaction to this.
okay, when I first got this story, that like I've known this person since I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, this is going to be a wholesome story about how she met her husband or how like maybe it was like an experience she had during university and whatnot. And like me and this particular friend, like we talk maybe once a year,
Mm.
since high school ended. But that's how I am even with like my regular high school friends and whatnot. Like, times change, people change and whatnot. But when I read this story, so I have a lot of questions.
Mm.
So the first one I have is I know the specific chess competition. I'm a huge nerd. I was a huge fucking geek back in high school. I still am now,
I
but
was going
back
to say
then,
was a geek.
ah, like I did all the chess tournaments. I
Mm.
always lost, but I didn't care. We got out of the class, so
Mm.
that was my thing to do.
Yep.
But I so I know, and I'm not trying to degrade anyone, but I know the guys from the other schools that came in for these chess competitions. I have a feeling I know which one that she lost her virginity to because he was kind of the only good looking one. And look,
Oh, God.
I'm not I'm not like trash talking these other people because I remember when I was like 16, 17, I was full of pimples and I had a Justin Bieber haircut and I was wearing like three fucking necklaces at one
You
point.
didn't. No. Oh my God.
Like it's just
I'm
that
leaving.
whole
I'm
like
leaving the show immediately. No, no, I'm kidding.
it's like that emo culture, but even though
Hmm.
all my friends had like long black hair with the long fringes and the raccoon tail like style haircuts and stuff, I
Yeah.
never really did that. Like I never wore eyeliner, I never dyed my hair black, but I kind of had like I don't know, like 10% of that look, like the long hair, like but even then I was like, well, I remember all the chess people, we'd usually go get like lunch together or we'd
Mm.
have to be sequestered in this specific room till the chess tournament was over. So I can't really think of a time when any of them would have been allowed to sneak off to go into lab 3.
Mm.
And also just to note as well, so the way that the high school is, lab 3 is towards the end, like one end point of the high school,
Mm.
but that doesn't mean that they're alone. All the science labs connect to one central staff room.
Yeah.
So my thought is, how the fuck didn't they get caught?
Yeah.
Because surely a teacher would have heard, or like a teacher would have been like, oh shit, I left my book or I left my wallet or car keys or whatever in
Yeah.
lab 3. I'm gonna go get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also like the absolute nerve to like just fucking public in a high school.
Actually,
Like,
you know what? I'm actually thinking of my high school, and it sounds very like similar in ways like the building is structured, like all these
yeah,
different things are connected, like one central, more of a hallway, but you can still hear everything because it was echoey as hell. I don't think it's the same. I mean, I left that place years ago, so it's probably all different now. But yeah, at the time, it was all like echoey, and yeah, there's no way you can miss anything because every noise would just travel along.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's crazy.
It's like I can't actually think of an instance where like two people were caught having sex or anything in high school. Not even the teachers. And there were always rumors about Network High School being like, these two teachers got together, or this teacher had an affair. And it's like, oh yeah, that's just some rumor, some stupid shithead made up because
Yeah.
their teacher gave them like 80 out of 100 instead of 90 out of 100.
Yeah.
Like we had a lot of, well, but there's a term for it, like intelligent douchebags
Hmm.
who felt because they felt they were smarter than everyone, they
Yeah.
could treat everyone else like shit.
I think the proper term is petty bitches.
Yeah, like I was not a popular kid in high school by any means. I mean,
No,
I
you?
was, huh? Like I
Sorry.
was, looking back, like year 7 to year 10, I was definitely ostracized, bullied, but
Mm.
it's this weird thing where like as soon as I came out in year 11, suddenly every person was like, "Oh, we liked you the whole time. Oh, we think you're great," and it's like
Oh,
bullshit.
please. Yeah. I
like
heard a couple of
I
those too. I'm like,
like I know the people who treated me like the exact same, no matter
mm,
if I was like a shy, closeted gay person
mm,
or a really loud, annoying, like out and proud gay guy in like senior years and whatnot. And
mm.
those are the people that I choose to talk to, on a friendly basis. Everyone else blocked. Like,
Yep.
do not care about high school reunions. Do not care about any of this shit.
Yep.
Although I did have this plan that I would attend my high school reunion and just
Yeah.
like completely ice out everyone that I didn't like. So they'd come up and be like, "Oh, how have you been?" I'm like, "Oh, who are you? I don't know you."
Mm.
And then I just like talk to the people I actually give a shit about. And then I was like, wait,
Yes.
why do I care about a high school reunion? Like,
No.
no, I ain't doing that shit.
Nah, do it. Channel that Mariah Carey energy.
I don't know her.
I don't know her.
uh,
Oh,
but
love her.
we are at our final story. So would you
We
like to do
are.
the honors?
I certainly would. Okay. Our final story comes from Speed Data, and she wrote in, "Here's a doozy of an old story for you. This is back before mobile phones." Oh my God. The internet. Oh. And we actually had to go out and find a hookup. No.
God, no.
Ancient history. I was asked to come around I was asked to come to a round of speed dating with my girlfriend, and I begrudgingly said yes. The idea of speed dating is you have 60 seconds to make a good impression, and then afterwards you can initiate choose to initiate things further. I'm 55 now, but at the time I was a 22-year-old beauty queen. The guys were okay, but exactly what you'd expect at one of these speed dating events. I was about to grab my friend to tell her I was ready to leave, but she was tongue deep in another guy's mouth, so I asked the bartender to let her know I was leaving. I was almost out of the pub when this guy from the speed dating puts his arm around me and said, "Where do you think you're going, gorgeous?" I shivered and I told him I was going home. I'm shivering now just thinking about that. He laughed and asked why. I told him because I'm going home. That's why. He did not like my response one bit. He threw a schooner at the wall. Everything went quiet. He went into a tirade about girls not giving him a chance and that he was, oh God, here we come, and that he was a nice guy, but women preferred assholes. The pub security came with me and escorted me to my car. I was relieved, and just as I was about to open my car door, the security shuts it, looks at me, and goes, "What? No kiss after I saved you from that douchebag?" I felt so unsafe, but I figured it's one kiss. I didn't owe him anything, but I wanted to go home. I landed to give him a kiss, and he decides to lick my lips and bite my neck. I pushed him off, but he was too strong. I heard another guy yell, "Hey!" It was another guy. I'm gonna try that again. That sounded weird. I heard another guy yell, "Hey!" It was another guy from the speed dating, and one that I found so boring. He knocked the security guy in the head and asked if I was okay. I burst into tears and uncontrollably sobbing. Can't read today. I burst into tears, uncontrollably sobbing, and he asked if I wanted to go to the police station. I said no because I didn't want any trouble at the time, but I wish I did. The guy from speed dating called me after finding me in the white pages just to ask if I was okay and that he was happy to give a witness statement to the police. We fell in love and have been married for almost 30 years now. Wow. I can't believe I found the man of my dreams by being disrespected not once, but twice by two different guys at a speed dating event. Oh my God, what a roller coaster of a story, by the way. My
Uh,
goodness.
so
Um,
when I got this submission, it was actually from her daughter. And I was like, wait, is the daughter saying this happened to her 30 years ago? Because this daughter looks like she's only like 24. So I was like,
yeah.
what kind of magic foundation has this person used? And
Does sperm
then,
have like an entirely different life before they become babies or
yeah. And I was like, holy shit, I need to know more because I wanted a range of different stories from different age groups, but I tend to
mm,
find that most of the submissions were from people between like 24 to 35. But a 55-year-old, I was like, holy shit, I tried to get this person on camera, but they were just a bit shy. So
yeah.
I was like, oh, that's fine. I'll just like use it as one of the stories we read out. But you know, speed dating.
Mm.
So I actually recapped a horror movie for part of my other podcast where one of the opening sequences is a speed dating sequence going through all
Mm,
the different types of guys. And so I
mm,
was imagining that scene in my head when reading through this, and I was like, fuck me dead. I see events for speed dating all the time around Sydney.
hmm
I may be a very like lonely, desperate person at times when I'm single,
mm.
but not single enough
You
to
go
go
speed
to a
dating.
fucking speed dating.
No.
Uh, it's just, I'm happy that she was able to find true love by
Mm,
getting married to this person. I just feel so bad for her that she was disrespected twice by two different
mm.
men, especially someone in a position of power like security who is
Uh-huh.
supposed to help
That's
her.
come on. Like, oh.
And it's like,
Um,
sorry, you
yeah.
go.
No. Sorry, you go, and I'll do my little breakdown afterwards. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, um, one thing I'll say too is I see this thing from a lot of different people where, we'll try and think, and I sound so dumb because I'm a white cis gay guy,
Mm,
but I'll say to my friends like, oh, if you don't feel safe, like I can pay for an Uber, or I can pay for a taxi so they don't have to walk home alone or don't have to take a bus or a train. And
mm,
I don't realize that, there are stories, and I've received
mm,
quite a lot of them actually, of like taxi drivers, Uber drivers who
mm.
try and, assault women or even like other gay guys or gay women and whatnot. And it's
Yeah.
just like, fuck, there really is no proper 100% safe avenue apart
No.
from driving your own car home. But
Yeah.
who the fuck can afford a car in today's economy? So,
Yeah. And there's still like car accidents and dickheads
yeah.
on the road. So that's not even 100% safe.
Oh, it's like no one can win no matter how much
Nah.
we try to create safer alternatives or
Uh,
paths so that women should be allowed to go
exactly.
out, go out, have a fun night without the added stress of being like, fuck,
Yeah.
how am I going to get home safe?
Yeah.
Because I think that's something I've definitely taken for granted, being
Yeah.
like, I'm a man, I don't care. Like, there's no way I'd be able to like fight anyone because I have no muscle strength
No.
whatsoever.
No.
But, the chances of like someone trying to assault me on public transport or
Mm,
like walking home is so minimal, like
yeah.
microscopically minimal compared to the rates that this happens to women.
Yeah. It's absolutely revolting. And I feel for all the girls out there, because that's just disgusting. Okay, so my little breakdown of this. So thanks for turning me off speed dating completely. There was actually a speed dating event happening in Perth not too long ago, and they're hosting by really great guys. I know them personally, but speed dating just kind of freaks me out because I was a bit like, I can't really know how to get to know a person. Well, this just solidated that that stuff can happen. Um, so yeah, the fact that this was um like years ago and it still occurs today just really shows you how much we have a lot of progress to make in our society and just in
Mm,
the world. Um, yeah, so the first of all, yeah, it's kind of harking back to the previous story where we had the person who was on OnlyFans, and then the geek came around and it was like, oh my god, you're not dressing my fantasy, like so clearly once again you were just viewed as a sex object, because it was a, where do you think you're going, gorgeous, and all fucking like, ha ha ha,
oh,
you don't have to go home. And then as soon as like there's a response saying no, that's that magical word that triggers so many people, it's nah, everything is awful and you're going a tirade. And yeah, the reason why I reacted about like the nice guy, oh my god.
I hate that term.
Now, as a
Oh,
younger person, and as okay, I still understand like the statement itself is true because there are a lot of people who go to people who are definitely douchebags, who are definitely awful. I'm not. I personally don't understand why. Maybe it's a safety thing. Maybe people just value, and I'm just meaning people. I'm not just talking about women because I know a lot of gay guys do this as well. Or there are guys who don't feel self confident themselves, so they need to go with a very strong willed woman to feel
Hmm.
I don't know. Like, do you know what I mean?
No, I
So
know what you mean. Yeah.
so I understand the statement itself, the sentence that nice guys always seem to get finished last, and the arseholes always seem to get everything, and the big hyper masculine one seems to get everything, but the person who's not like that doesn't. However, however, the people who kind of label themselves as the nice guys don't always tend to be,
Mm.
because that's your prime example there. Oh, where, I'm not getting what I want. I'm a nice guy, but you're only going out with the assholes. I'm sorry. What were you just now?
Yeah.
What were you doing just now? That didn't seem like a very nice guy thing to do. And this happens all the time now. We still
Yeah.
have not learned. This is still a very real, regular occurrence, where people just cannot be, they can't stand being told no.
Yeah.
And it's really, really scary. And then you have security. You know, I work in a place where security, you have to go through a lot of checks and a lot of tests and everything, and are constantly like updated, and you know, like the trainings re-updated and stuff because of stuff like this. You're not a hero. Okay, you did your job, and okay, you clearly did it well for that regard, but don't go in expecting a reward like that.
Yeah.
Literally trying to do the same thing the other person did. Well, I saved you, so your big white knight came in, or what? I don't care whatever color he was. He was still a freaking knight that saved the princess. Now I'm get a kiss and stuff. Just no, 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 no. Okay, if the
Mm.
person likes you and is attracted to you, that's the indication you need. You don't win the princess's heart. This is not freaking Legend of Zelda, or no, sorry, no, or Mario. I'll stick to something actually. No, I don't know Zelda. But like, you know, this isn't a fantasy video game.
Mm.
Real life requires actual respect. You're not winning anyone's respect by being a hero.
Yeah.
But anyway, this third guy, you know, thank you so much for actually coming in and, you know, actually being a decent person. It's not hard. That's what a true nice guy says, but they don't have to say they're a nice guy.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny, like I know I keep referencing Game of Thrones because I know you hated it, but there was a quote on there who he was like he was absolutely an absolute asshole, this character, but like he was like, anyone who says I am the king is no true king. You know,
Mm.
just because you call yourself something doesn't usually means you're the opposite of that, or it's an exaggeration. Like, why do you have to tell people that you are something when you're proving you're not? So
Yeah.
this is just basically the same. I know it's a weird analogy, but Game of Thrones fans, you'll know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that's just. So yeah, the moral of this podcast is that men suck. It's just that men suck.
We're gonna change the title. Men question mark.
Day or
uh,
disaster. Answer:
like
men.
there was I really wish I could remember word for word, but there was a quote where it was like guys who call themselves nice guys are
Mm,
like, oh, why does she only date other assholes? And
mm,
then it was a really good analysis, and I cannot find it. I've been trying to Google search it for the past 10 minutes. But
mm,
essentially this person wrote down the when a girl looks at a nice guy who
mm,
labels themselves a nice guy
mm,
versus someone that nice guy considers an asshole,
mm,
the girl will look at both people and say, okay, the asshole is maybe a bit too loud, maybe a bit too annoying,
mm,
maybe has some, what do you call it, like a quick temper, things like
mm,
that. But she'll look at both of them and go, well, the asshole has exhibited upfront, their worst qualities, but at the end of the day, she might feel that he's not going to harm her. She
mm,
might feel that he'll be better in bed per se. But she
mm,
looks at the so-called nice guy and sees someone who will be more volatile, more
mm.
dangerous.
Yeah.
And, so
Exhibit A or whatever. You know, there's been many exhibits, but yeah, that's actually really true.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
Wow.
I've come across some guys on Grindr before who their profiles are like, oh, no one gives the nice guys a chance. I don't understand. And then they'll message me and I'm just like, do not respond because I know this is going to be
Yeah.
like a fucked conversation.
You know,
But then the
it's like when a place is hiring and they say we're like a family. Out,
oh
out,
no,
nah.
I've got my own family. One's enough.
Yeah,
And
no thanks. First of all, there's that, but second of all, that's so culty and so alluring.
yeah,
it's just a no for me. And yeah, same thing with a nice guy.
uh, I'm so sick of nice guys, honestly. But
Yeah.
anyway, now it is time for me to admit which story is mine. So, Chris, what do you think is my story out of the five we've just discussed?
Okay, so I guessed correct last time. Oh, wait, did I?
Okay. Yeah, you
Did
did.
I did? Yes. Let's see. Okay. Not gonna go over the first one again because that seems too obvious. I'm doing my sleuthing thing like I used to when I used to watch Scooby Doo, where I'm like, that thing that guy's too obvious. That guy's too obvious. No, that one's too obscure. They knew that we would think that. Um, I'm going to go with the second story, Verse King story, the
You
one with
are
the popping.
correct.
Oh my god!
So, it's actually a mishmash of two different stories merged into
Oh,
one. But
okay.
there is also someone that sent in their submission named Burst King, but
Mm,
they didn't actually expand upon what exactly was the worst experience. I was like, oh, I'll take that as a funny little nickname. But
mm,
it is two separate stories. The first one, and I'll make this as short as possible because I went for like an hour rant last time about the catfish stalker. But the first story, what happened was I went over to this person's house in 2018 and things were going good, but then I could tell that he had a lot of different toys, if you like.
mm.
And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's cool, whatever. And then he pulls out this penis pump, and I was like, okay. And he starts using it on himself, and I still have no idea how it works because
Mm.
it looked like it was just like suctioning the air out of everything, and I was like, that looks terrifying. I do not want to use that. And he kept asking me if I wanted to use it, and I was like, no, no, thank you.
Mm.
And then I was like, I gotta state up front. I was never pressured into using it, but I was curious. So I was like, you know what? Let's give it a try.
Mm.
It was the most painful thing I've ever done. It did not
Wow.
feel good. I
Mm.
just went ice cold and numb, and I didn't feel anything afterwards. I was like, what is the point of using this if I
Mm.
then can't enjoy it when I'm
Yeah,
supposed to be using this for its full benefit? So,
for other people. Yeah.
yeah. And like, I did go back to this person a few times after that. And again, he never pressured me to do anything. So
Mm.
everything else was really good. But
Mm.
yeah, in terms of pumps, I'm like,
Mm.
no, I would not be using that again. However,
Yeah.
so the second story was a threesome experience.
Right.
And, you know, what was agreed upon was that I would just go to this hotel and, we just make out, have some fun together. I wasn't
Mm.
actually there for like full on
Mm.
sex, if you like. And they were just like, oh, what's wrong with us? Like, do you not find us attractive or anything? And I was like, no, I do find you both very attractive. But
Mm.
I was going through a bit of not even a breakup, just like a
Mm.
couple of dates that didn't go as well as I hoped. So I was
Yeah.
kind of like just in my feelings and whatnot.
Yeah.
And then, like, out of nowhere, they just I thought it was a tic tac at first. I'm so dumb when it comes to
Mm.
these things. And like, what they did was they put the pill in my mouth and then they rubbed my throat. So it just went down. And straight away, I panicked. And I
Mm.
was like, oh, what was that? And they're like, oh, don't worry. It's just something to like help, get you more excited. And I'm like, I didn't want to do this. Like,
Mm.
I expressed upfront through messaging as soon as I got to the hotel.
Yeah.
So, actually that time I did put on my pants and my shirt and I just left. The only
Mm.
problem was I had to walk really awkwardly because suddenly I had this huge, well, and I'm
Mm.
like walking around the hotel lobby in Parramatta being so awkward. As soon as
Mm-hmm.
I got to my car, I just like drove straight home and I was like, yep, let's not do that ever again.
Yeah.
Like that was the time where I did feel my boundaries were hugely disrespected,
Oh,
especially
absolutely.
because like I don't know if you've ever used AML or anything like that before, but I don't even use it for like a. Actually, no, that's a full-on lie. I was about to say I don't use it for a sexual thing. I 100% do. But one thing I really love to do when I sniff ammo is I love making out because it just makes it more passionate. I don't know how to explain it. I really don't. But if I'm like in that mood, that is like the best thing on the planet to me. And now, because I've been told to take this pill forcefully, I can't do amyl anymore. So I was like, what the? That's the only reason I went over as well. Because I'm like, I've always wanted to know what it'd be like to make out with like two different guys on amyl.
Yeah.
And that was taken away from me.
That's revolting.
So I was like, fuck sakes.
Oh, God. So if everyone just be careful out there. Just be careful out there.
And like, also as well, like there was nothing to suggest that they had any type of pills or anything like that on them. So I wasn't really expecting it. So
did they have like a container or something, or did they like one of them like hide it under a pillow or something?
Let me think back. I heard the shake of a bottle afterwards, but I still don't know where they got it from. Like if it was under a pillow, if it was on like a nightstand table, but I didn't see anything apart from like our phones and the alarm clock. So
I reckon it was hiding like in like a small corner of like the alarm clock or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like very shady, but like that also turned me off.
Yeah.
You know, threesomes, any of that type of stuff. Like I've done stuff before, like up to 5 people at once, and honestly, it's just not. I feel like I'm in a zoo.
Like, bloody hell.
Just give me one-on-one. Like,
yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, at least with like, I mean, I can imagine I've never been in a foursome before, but at least like with 4 people, it's like, okay, I can just focus on the one person, then like occasionally interact with another one, maybe like swapsies.
It's like bopping.
Yeah, exactly. But like, but with like a 3 thing, it's like, well, someone's gonna get left out.
Yeah.
And I get very jealous. I need attention.
20-year-old me would be like, hey, why am I not getting anything?
Exactly.
30-year-old me would be like, you guys have fun. I'm going to go, babe. I need a little 10-minute break.
let the kids have their fun. We'll just go on the balcony.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So is your grinder name actually Verse King? Or is that... No. Okay.
Honestly, I think I spoke about this in the first episode. I wish I was Verse because I know I would be like able to have as much fun as I want. I could like I'm not delusional, but I feel like because I have a really good trying to be respectful, but I get told all the time that I have a really good ass, and it's like I know I do, because when I took some photos after my weight loss in like jock straps and everything, damn, I looked really fucking good.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn it, why can't I use this to like actually advance like any part of my like sexual life or whatnot? Because I would like to be Verse, but my body is just like, bitch, you cannot be Verse. You are a top. And it's like, I don't want to be a top though. Like, I'm a very feminine person. Yes, there are feminine tops and whatnot. And, as one of the only feminine tops in Sydney, I get a lot of great people who are looking for a feminine top.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's just like, well, maybe I'm missing out by not being Verse or, that type of stuff.
Hi, fellas. I sure do love being gay.